Hi, thank you and welcome to my channel. This is actually just a quick little series that I plan on doing to address what each sign needs in order to feel love. So this is going along with maybe the certain love languages. I'm not going to get specifics into what the titles of love languages are, but this is just from my perspective as a person who's had interactions with these types of individuals, or even just through understanding of astrological behavior patterns, what my assessment is as to what this individual may need in order to feel as if they are loved. So, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope that this message resonates for all that listen. And I appreciate for your likes, for your shares, and if that you haven't already subscribed, please do so now and click the bell icon so that you can get notification for all the different types of videos that I have to offer. My channel is changing, so I do intend on being able to offer some zodiac tips as well as um, understanding of yourself in a broader sense of what I've been doing in terms of tarot cards. So hopefully this finds you in good spirits and you enjoy every bit of the journey that I'm taking you on. Now we're going to move on to Virgos. So with the way that Virgos love, Virgos can be very nurturing, very heartfelt, very romantic in nature because they just want you to know how much they love you. And they'll find these different little ways to kind of like express that, and it might seem like it's over the top for someone who just thinks that Virgos can be extra, but for those people who likes eccentric and ostentatious uh expressions of love, then Virgos are it for that, because when they are actually comfortable and actually very confident in what they feel for you, they don't have a problem with showing off how much they love you. They don't have a problem with showing you to everybody, even if they just met you and they love you. They don't have a problem with being committed to you when they are ready to show you that. But the thing about it is that because their anxiousness to be in love, have that love, show that love, because they have a lot to give, they can get caught up with people who just kind of want to suck up that vibe, suck up that energy, and really they're not prepared to give it back in the same intensity. Because Virgo has a lot of intensity behind the way that they love. It can be very heavy. It can be overbearing for someone who isn't prepared to give it back. Um, and for someone who is prepared to give it back, they can actually receive like this overflow of love that just feels so right. It just feels good in the moment because they know how to make you feel good in that moment. They make you feel comfortable. And that's why people love Virgos. But at the end of the day, Virgos can get used a lot because they're very helpful and they're very useful with their good energy and their good vibes and their perspective of wanting things to be good for everybody. But that also can come at a price and a detriment to them. So in their critical natures, they're most critical of themselves. So when they find themselves in relationships that don't work out or that doesn't seem to go the way that they had planned because they were really given, and being genuine, it was probably due to the fact that they gave a little bit too much, didn't really read the red flags, and they're they're very hypersensitive and they're beating themselves up and really not allowing, they're overthinking the fact that they just didn't pay attention to the red flags, and they allow themselves to get stuck when Virgos don't like to be stuck, so they beat themselves up when they feel like things were a waste of time, so they have to like rework in their minds how to make it better for themselves in the future before they move on in the future. So if you actually are able to be with a Virgo, whether they're a younger Virgo and they haven't had many relationships, or they're older and they've been very critical in themselves to know what they would like to have at the very least. So at the very least, you need to know what it is that you want in a relationship with being in with a Virgo, because they at the very least know have an idea on maybe a 5-year plan. I don't know any Virgo that doesn't really have a trajectory of what they think their life is going to be like in a few years. Maybe not so concrete, but at the very least they thought about it. And these people have long-term goals. And because they do, you have to make sure that you have long-term goals too. Because if you're a flighty person and if you're not a person who's or detail oriented about what your plans are, chances are it might conflict. And so you want to make sure that you can lay out on the line with your Virgo what your anticipation, what they can anticipate in the relationship, so that they're not giving too much too soon, or giving too much for so long, hoping that things will work out the way that they want it to work out, what they are expecting, but not communicating. Because a lot of times Virgos don't really communicate what they truly want or what they truly expect. They just kind of try to go with the flow, hoping that it works out, that the person that they're with will give them back what they're giving. But it doesn't always work out that way, and they can get stuck in cycles of giving, giving, giving to people who aren't giving back. So if you are a Virgo, know that you deserve what you're giving back, know when to give it up, know when the red flags are there, but also know that allow people to come to you already with a plan of action, knowing how to give to you and knowing how to be able to love you genuinely back, because you give too much in hopes that it will plan out to be a long-term future with people who don't really have a plan for the future. But if you can find someone on mutual common ground, and if you are a person that's looking for love and you're with a Virgo, make sure that you do have your future in plan. If not, if you're leaving this person in limbo and you're confused about life, leave them alone. Let them find someone who actually isn't confused, because Virgos need to have people who can say what they say, mean what they say, do what they say, act on what they say, and give the results. And that's just that. So be about it if you're with a Virgo, because they will make sure that you are, and if you aren't, they'll give you enough time, and eventually they'll get tired. And when they do get tired, their cutoff game is strong, and you will never hear from them or see them again. Guarantee it. So be sure to love them when you have them, and love them right and righteously, and you'll always have them. And if you can't step up to the plate, if you don't have that already in you, then don't even bother, because you'll miss out on a very good person if you do. Okay? And that is all that I have for you at this time. Until next time, take care. Namaste.